Peace be upon you. I see this weekly cycle. Please take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 10, whatever necessary. How many you need to. Okay. We're gonna keep it short. I'm not gonna go, well, I usually say that, but channeling is not the way we want it. But I'm just checking my notes. Bottom of the deck, the wedding in reverse. Aries, death in reverse. Resistance, reluctancy to letting go, change, etc. Frustration, anger. You may step into enemy energy if you're not careful, therefore pushing everyone away. You yourself, either portraying either as a victim or as an oppressor. Either way, the defensive, offensive, or attacks are what seems to be the norm nowadays for you. Your way or the highway. So, warnings, there's not further advice that I can give you, because otherwise you're not going to receive it. And you're going to just see me as well. Add me to the list of enemies. So you're also unable to receive help in case you may need it at this point. Why? Because you're nowhere in having any intention to actually offer it or provide it to anyone else. Any solution you may appear to have, or care, or empathy, or seems to be merely ideological, coming from ego, or trying to prove a point or be the smart one and the all-knowing and so on. It's really highly problematic, because it doesn't really give you any space to work with anyone, to connect with anyone. Hence, you will be lacking in so many ways on any type of fulfillment. Okay. Taurus, you have Fortuna in reverse. A loss due to either overspending, excessive spending, eating may be also an issue, as per usual, excesses overall, a distorted sense or definition, perception, personal perception of abundance. So therefore a sense of lack. In actuality, you're not lacking. As a matter of fact, you may have had more than your share. So you are called to redefine abundance. Right now you're struggling due to a sense of loss. You are losing financially, practical wise, or at least you're not making as much as you would want to, or what you would feel that you would need to make, earn, or have, own, in order for you to feel fulfilled. So you're called to redefine priorities and abundance. Now, Gemini, you're struggling with the same thing. You're coming from a very materialistic stance of perception of reality, whereas you define your own sense of fulfillment, purpose, abundance, based on what you actually own, have, and that may translate or extend to status, not just material abundance, but status. I think you are a lot more willing and capable of embracing a new stage of your life. whereas you would be fulfilled and satisfied with very little. I think this is you taking it upon yourself to actually say, fuck this, I'm done. Being the mouse on the wheel, I'm done. Wow. You're owning it. Not only that, but you're finding release and liberation in loss, material loss. You want less because you now know that less on one side means more on another. Wow, powerful. You've been trapped in that pursuit of, wealth, because obviously that would mean happiness. People will respect you, will acknowledge, will recognize you, and so on. So you may have a drastic or at least temporary shift or ceasing of activity, of professional or financial pursuits, career-wise. You're not seeking to prove any point anymore, therefore you're not going to try and conquer or earn people's respect and acknowledgement as a substitute for genuine affection and fulfillment, just by you constantly, spinning that wheel in order to have more to show off, more to prove, more to give even to those you love and to provide. And you're past that. You're not going to be defined by what you can provide to others anymore, or what you can achieve, and so on. You need a moment on your own here. This may actually lead to a definitive final choice, whereas you literally may make that move, temporary initially, to just give up on your career. Wow. Embracing that other side of you. Very powerful. Cancer, you have the old woman, wisdom. For the brothers, yes, it's nice, it's fine. You are acknowledging divine feminine as present within sisters, whether mothers, wives, colleagues, friends. You have high esteem and respect. You see them as beneficial, especially when it comes to their own wisdom and perception of reality and opinions on relationships, takes, stances, wisdom. But it's a double-edged sword, as in, for the brothers, if you have your own family, seek to leave your mother out of it. For the sisters, well, you have a lot of wisdom to impart, and we're grateful for it. And it's ancient wisdom. There's peace, there's serenity, there's acceptance of one current reality, there's purpose. There's care, there's nurture, nourishment, there's love, affection. It's beautiful. Leo, you're all about that money, money, money. Yes, and you're making them. But just be careful about the next major investment that you're about to make. In other words, you're being reminded for now to rejoice and to be wise and not get on that treacherous path of wanting more. Virgo, thief in reverse. You're changing habits. You may learn to speak more clearly, straightforward, directly, and honestly so. In other words, you're learning to give people a piece of your mind in the most honest possible manner. But especially to those people that have been always felt as if they always get one over you. Oh, he's a fool or she's a fool. They never seem to say anything, because it doesn't mean you weren't thinking it. You didn't know. You weren't aware. And now you're going to tell them about it. I know what you were up to. I know who you are, how you think, it's what I've been doing up until now. Observing. So breaking the silence, unmasking, revealing people, therefore cutting them out. Not before you give them a piece of your mind. That's going to be shocking. Thank goodness. Finally, truth prevails. Libra, the reminiscing, the past comes back in some form or another. There's loss. There's an overall ever pervasive sense of mourning for all of humanity. We realize what's going on. As we shift ages, we know it's not going to be without its painful, necessary sacrifices. Most importantly, I think you're mourning your desires, your dreams, your wishes, the things that you never got to do, to say. You're trying to release via this acceptance of final loss. It's very finality, much like for Gemini here. You're starting off like, let's try. Maybe if I try and shift perspective and act as if, for example, that person that is no longer in my life, well, the same way I have to accept that someone is gone, that's how I have to accept that. Or that old me that used to dream of being this, maybe it's time I let that go. It's a new me. It's mourning for the purpose of releasing and integrating and moving forward. Acceptance of divine will, of endings, of you're doing the same thing here. You and Leo have two upright cards. Cancer as well. So it's courage, it's strength, it's bravery. Releasing old selves, desires, wishes, people, forgiveness, compassion, honoring, remembrance. It's beautiful. It gives more purpose and value to your life. This is not for the purpose of having you be unable to live your life, but rather cherish it even more so. Its presence, even if it's painful, with whatever it may entail. You understand the need for loss. Gemini here, your fellow air sign, has loss. They release loss of whatever is perceived as success, wealth and material abundance, or even social recognition and status and so on, power. And you are releasing something that's deeper than that, goes back, way back, generations, ages. The pain and the losses and the sacrifice of all your bloodline, you now realize that you're the fruit of that. You got to do your best, at least just for the purpose of honoring their sacrifice. The blessing of life, how precious time is. The crown is the circle, the enclosing of the circles. The Ouroboros, snake eating its tail, the cycles, right? The crown. And isn't it interesting when we celebrate in spring festivals, the same crown that we put at our beloved's graves is the one that we wear, we put on virgins on their heads. There's no escaping until we go through the stages, through the seasons. And for something to begin, something else has got to go. Gemini is beginning a new life, and so are you, through release. Remember the vision I had when I started the channel about people holding dead babies, and it came to pass that so it is. Literally, right? Wow. So if you're wondering why it's hit me so bad, it's because who wouldn't dread at the thought that that would have been the reality? Having to witness loss at that stage of without being able to do anything about it, or even comfort those who have lost children, the innocent, the future. But this is about releasing the past. And I remember I would walk amidst them, and I couldn't interact with them. There was nothing I can do, not hold them, not, try and tell them, those children are dead. And I always saw them as old dreams, perceptions of self, the sacrifice, right? Because the children represent potential, future. And they were holding these babies. They were all dead, but they were holding them as if they were still alive. So you're doing that, you're releasing, but the past. But again, who would have thought that, symbolically, nothing is for nothing? How many children have we lost? We needed such a pure sacrifice. In order for us to be ushered in, or allow this new stage to usher in. Okay, Scorpio, the merchant in reverse. You've definitely had enough with your current job, whether it's location, work environment. You're not seeking to expand any further. If there's anything for you to either perfect or learn further skills like training or further knowledge, updates on information, and you feel as if your own occupation is no longer respected, or it's not that you lost passion for it, it's just that you feel, it won't lead anywhere. It seems to appear as redundant at this point. It's not as important as you thought it to be, right? It's not. So you're releasing high expectations or defining oneself based on your occupation or career. You need to find yourself beyond that. Sag, sadness, reminiscing. I think you're mourning. I think you have regrets, a lot of them. And for now, you're actually so grateful for those people in your life that you feel you could have treated better, or you feel you didn't deserve, or you put money above all else. You're not willing to let go completely. You're still hoping that something can begin here. You had a shift in perspective, like literal awakening. You don't care about anything right now. You just need a moment. You're cherishing every moment. Life is so intense. So grateful. But there's a lot of reminiscing. So you're remembering old times. You may actually find yourself remembering specific people, moments, and all the rest, no matter how good or bad, seem to be irrelevant. So something appears as rather more special to you, more crucial to who you are today. You're defining your entire journey up until now. You want it to be defined by those very special moments. And it cuts both ways, because it's also very painful for you no longer having it. Higher goals and aspirations for Capricorn, birth of children, or just being joyful overall for anything that is beginning right now, seeing so much life and potential in it. So there's marriage for the purpose of building families. There's pregnancies. There's obviously new stages, new lives, change in homes probably. You're focusing on what truly matters for you. Family. Those of you who already have children, you're just rejoicing, even though your situation may appear as challenging as for anyone else. You're rejoicing and grateful. So you may have been disconnected due to overworking, workaholic, or just overly focusing on just the practical aspects, the material aspects of raising a family and children. But now you're more present. So you're spending more time with your children, discovering them, getting to know them, being there for them. Aquarius, something that you've done in the past may yield you some financial support or benefit right now, which is good. Either a job is being offered, so you did some very generous acts or acts of kindness, unconditional acts or gestures of love. Whereas to your own detriment, you've literally given your own food, for example, or allowed someone to sleep in your home, even though you may have risked being, homeless yourself and so on. Very, challenging times give us all the opportunity to test our character, our hearts specifically. And yours is a very noble heart. So you did something in the past for someone. And the reward is coming around now. Now that you need help, you find it. Unexpectedly so. So have faith. There may be a return on some investment that you've made. Just randomly so, not giving too much importance to it. There may be someone whom you've helped in the past that got themselves back on their feet. Now they have a beautiful project on the go and they give you a call. You may meet someone that you've met years ago, or you feel you've met all of your life, and you just start new projects and, exchange ideas and so on. Beautiful, beautiful new beginnings. Finding resources in order for you to invest wisely, which you will appear to do so. It's something you deeply love. You take it very lightheartedly. It's not too serious. You don't go at it with, the purpose of making more money, but you rather see, the blessings and the need to pay it forward. So you, in that same spirit, hence why help is provided to you, because you have a pure heart. It may also be an unexpected inheritance. No, it not maybe. Again, it is inheritance, energetically, karmically speaking. Inheritance meaning the reward for something you've done in the past. And that translates very practically. It may be a home, it may be just money, it may be you being, left someone's inheritance, literally. Pisces, you're trying to take things a bit more lightly. You're trying to put the harshness of your intense nature when it comes to emotions. You're trying to overcome that or balance it out by focusing on what is defined as frivolous or irrelevant or minor tasks, experiences, connections. So you're living more in the moment. You don't care how you're perceived. You're truly trying to enjoy the moment. It's may be perceived as a bit reckless or irresponsible, but for you, this is the best way. It is wisdom. Just careful about you using this energy now to spend too much or, and there's a high risk of you losing your job or having made choices that lead you to lose your job, and you're fine with that. You hated the job anyway. You felt as if it wasn't for you. So you're fine. Let me just fly then, it's fine. So you're taking the loss pretty well, I have to say. Pretty well. For a change, you're not going to be too affected by that. It's not going to translate as, having to reanalyze your entire life journey and so on, and previous incarnations, and no. It's just, okay, I accept it, it's fine, let's move on. Powerful. The cards upright are the old lady, money, the mourner, The women, the sisters, appear to be protected here and provided. You may meet someone a widow, someone who lost. Merchant is, sorry, reversed. Who lost either a job, family member recently. They may be going through some painful times. Either way, they appear sad, etc. So you're perfect for one another. Melancholy, sadness, as I said. And new beginnings, hope restored. Maybe someone who has a child or would like to. Adoption is always a possibility. Surprise, lucky find, right? And ability to fly no matter what. More presence, beauty, transformation. Less heavy energy when it comes to planning for the future. Less expectations, less strategy, less control. It's beautiful. We seem to see clearly now that many people are going to resist. It's hard for them, death in reverse. But ultimately, many will lose what they perceived as fortune. They may actually lose just their definition of it. They no longer feel as if the need to pursue whatever is defined as fame and fortune and abundance. And they're learning to wisely sow, wisdom of the ancestors, right? Work with what they've got. Take it a bit more easily. Learn from past experiences. Impart wisdom. Guide and assist others. Accept their own circumstances. They don't see lack. They see things as they are. Therefore, there is no lack there where one learns to work with what they've got. Pointing fingers will no longer be allowed either. Again, another loss in either jobs or homes or dreams again. In order for new circumstances to begin. Very, very abundant, by the way. Very abundant. But again, with this new definition of abundance, I have enough now. Defining oneself based on status, material situation or condition, workplace, career, occupation, race, creed, etc., or even nepotism, for example, all of those things, they're just falling off. All that matters is what you have now. So people are literally learning or seeing things from a different light, whereas they appreciate it so much more. Those who are looking back, even in looking back, the perspective of the perception has shifted. Wow, all along I've been so protected. I've been so blessed. They're seeing the hand of God by every time, you've met someone that was so crucial to you making it, to you being able to continue, get yourself up, restoring the hope in your heart in order to move on, being inspired by someone. So it's not just that those relationships, that you've had in real life per se, or you've been directly impacted by someone, regardless of the nature of those relationships, but as even those things that you may have considered as mistakes or blockages or challenges, you now see them as blessings. In many, the case would be the child. The child may have been seen as something that is either preventing them. Now they see them as something that is motivating them, propelling them. The only problematic here that I really see, Virgo is amazing, finally speaking, which we need. As in, the kind or the generous are not fools. And the world is learning that as it's being flipped back around, right? Fortune, the merchant, the thief, all reversed. We don't need this anymore. But another thing is our perception or fear of endings or deaths, right? That we are struggling with. Death and the child, because this also initiates the whole wheel, right? From modern interpretation, Aries energy here. Wow. What can we say? Real dreams come true. Those people that I saw holding these dead babies, in my eyes, they were dead, by all accounts. But miracles happen for the pure at heart, the strong in spirit. There's rebirth. The surprise is rebirth. Those dreams that you had, they may have been coming to you in such dysfunctional, corrupt ways, influenced or conditioned by anyone else's that they themselves have been. We all coming out of that daze, from under that spell, that trance. Who said you cannot have it? Who says it's not there? Who says you're not blessed? Who says you don't have a family? Who says you don't have children, or love, or health, or abundance, or wisdom, hope, life, resources? With God, everything's possible. If you walk with Him. But you have the choice not to, which Aries is doing. Aries, the spirit here. Aries is doing. Refuses to accept that the price of life is death. Refuses to let go. So the beginning is going to be something that is out of our control. That shift in perception, that the sense of being redeemed and forgiven and restored and healed, hopeful, loved and loving, all with a whole. Illumination. Rebirth. It's not something that anyone can give anyone. Right now it's happening for everyone in different ways. Yet we still have free choice, and many will resist it. They have the freedom to. So don't force anyone to see the blessings that they have, because you can't. They have the freedom to resist if they're overtaken by the sense of lack. We cannot fill that void. Nobody can. As we say, the glass half full or the glass half empty. Blessings to all of you. I saw something. Oh, okay, you will get a sign. You will get a sign that is not tangible, as in you cannot put your finger on it, but it's there. So you're still going to have to go with your gut. You're still going to have to go against whatever self may rise, ego, shadows, or anyone else's, with your gut when time comes. Temperance in reverse. And yes, that will mean, having to leave some people behind. You cannot heal them. Ace of Swords. You can still tell them the truth, but you have to leave them behind. Move on. So the time for us trying to constantly impose or force one another into understanding things is done. But at the same time, that doesn't mean we're going to keep quiet. Virgo, the baby, the child, right? Virgin, the wise woman, the ancient feminine coming through. Pisces having the butterfly. High priestess energy, right? Cancer, beautiful energy. Cancer being movement forward, the chariot, progress, spiritual and physical, transition, but also secrets and so on, right? Scorpio there, death in reverse. We have to be willing to stand in our own truth. We cannot constantly protect ourselves by pretending to protect others, by choosing not to be what we are, in the name of kindness. No, we are what we are when you're gonna own it. Get what comes with that. It's the only way via, feedback. Whereas we're gonna ever realize, mirroring, right? Where we're currently at and what we need to change. The feedback is important. It's via the interaction with one another that we get to make the corrections. We are interconnected. But ultimately, each of us is responsible and has that free choice. Blessings. Shalom.